Now, when I'm visiting salons, and a lot of the emails and stuff I get as well are about staff from salon owners saying, I'm having real problems with my staff. And when I investigate, there's usually a number of reasons, and they're usually the same sort of ones. Things like, they're not trained in the first place. But what I want to talk about today is one particular part. Now, I call it, and a lot of business people call it, the blueprint, but you can call it what you want. Your staff training manual, your customer service charter. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's really everything that your business does. It's a walkthrough of everything that happens in your business. It's a blueprint. Now, the reason that lots of businesses, including myself, use the blueprint is because this is what your business is. How you describe your business on paper, what actions every member of staff has to take, whether it's words that you want them to use when greeting a client, or the amount of time you want them to use when doing a haircut, or the type of product to use on nails, all has to go into one document. And it's kind of easy to do, even though it's very, very lengthy to do. That's all you have to do is imagine a client walking through the front door. So, you can imagine that outside has been neat and clean and tidy. When the door opens, the person near us greets them with the words, "Good morning, madam, how are you? Welcome to Salon." Whatever it is, when they get to the reception, what happens? What actions do you want the receptionist to take? How do you want them to rebook? Do you want them to give them a referral card at the end? What happens when you're selling products? How do they use, the backwash? Whatever it is in your business has to go into a document. Now, the easiest way to think about this is to use McDonald's. Most people have been there, so I can use that as a good example. If you go into McDonald's anywhere in the world, I've been a lot of places and they're pretty much the same anywhere you go. Some of the ingredients are a little bit different, but the actions are exactly the same. You go in, you get the same greeting. You try and buy a burger and they ask you, would you like fries with that? Would you like as a meal deal? Do you want a drink with that? What drink do you want with that? I know their fries are on a timer for 2 minutes and they don't debate it. They don't say, oh, shall we do 1.5 minutes today? No, it's 2 minutes. They all got the same uniform. It's the business. It is what your business is. So you need to develop a blueprint. Now, you do not want to get your staff involved in writing your blueprint. Okay, I know it sounds harsh, and I told you in the first video, I'm not your normal fluffy coach, okay? I'm telling you what you need to do properly. Do not get your staff involved in writing the blueprint originally. The blueprint has to be you. It has to be you a business. Because you do know that all of your staff are going to leave you. Okay? All your staff are going. So there's no point in them writing the blueprint because they're all going. So whatever you had in your mind when you started this business, whatever was different about it, whatever your dream was, whatever you thought the reason for your customer coming to you was, has to go in your blueprint. How they're treated, what you say to them, how long a service lasts. Okay? Now, blueprint written, of course, you can enhance it and develop it with your staff feedback. We should always involve our teams in developing our business. But it has to remain at all times what you want, what you truly believe is representative of your business. So if you opened this shop with your blueprint and you open one in the next town and one in another town and one in another town, I should be able to walk into any of them and identify the same processes. Okay? So this is your business. If you ever want to expand, this is what you're expanding with. Even if you franchise, really, this is the franchise document. That's how they replicate businesses. So you've got to have a blueprint. Now, the blueprint is going to help you in so many ways. It's first of all going to help you as a training document because, we tell staff off for all sorts of things. we tell them off because they can't make a cup of tea, because they can't use the dishwasher, because they've run water down the back of someone's jumper. We tell them off for all sorts, and they were never ever shown how to make it. We assume they can make a cup of tea. We assume they can use the dishwasher. We assume that the college taught them how to shampoo properly, but they probably didn't teach them how to do those things to your standard, to your blueprint standard. Okay, so you do this blueprint. It's going to take you a long time. You got to go through it and through it and through it. But when you perfected it, okay, it might take you a few days to get this right. This is what everything extends from. So now you can train all your staff. You can have a team meeting, you can launch it, and then you can work through with your team. Okay, this is the reception part. Let's do the reception training. This is how I want a color consultation done. Let's do the color consultation. So now you've got a training document. So you've got a business document that you can replicate. You've got a training document. You can't just train something like this once. You have to keep following up and following up and following up. And any of you who have worked with me or listened to me enough, I recommend weekly meetings with your staff. Usually a one-to-one meeting, but also a team meeting every week. Small meetings, 15 minutes, standing there, bang, bang, bang. We're talking about sales, we're talking about retail, we're going to talk about their personal development, and we're going to talk about the blueprint. That way, we can focus on the little things that are going wrong in the salon all the time, as opposed to having to take someone aside every hour or twice a day or getting annoyed with someone. You train them properly, and then we have this document that we keep pushing for the rest of our lives until we perfect it. Okay? So you have your McDonald's system. You know that you've got to set it yourself. Team input to develop your business is essential, but it's not essential for your blueprint. If you have a disciplinary issue, then you always have your blueprint to fall back on as well, because that's the standard you're always looking for. But I tell you, you'll be doing a lot more disciplinaries or sacking people or shouting at them or whatever you do to try and correct their actions if they know what they're doing properly. Now, just before I go, one of the reasons that we have such underperforming staff is this. When we do a salon induction, I'm talking about anything, beauty therapy, colonic irrigation, whatever it is, we all do the same thing. Hairdressing, barbers, we struggle to find staff often, and then as soon as we get them, we absolutely throw them onto the floor as quickly as possible. Sometimes I've seen inductions lasting half an hour. Come in, your coat goes here, here's the staff room, and right, if you could just make a start and I'll talk to you lunchtime. And if you're lucky, you'll grab 10 minutes with them lunchtime and sometime in the evening. In really good salons, we'll do half a day. We'll have a few hours with the salon trainer or the manager going through things. If you want to get this blueprint done properly, if you don't want to lose staff, if you don't want to have staff issues, because this is how the video started, this is how the complaint started, salon owners can't control this stuff because they're not trained properly. Start with your induction. Don't even let them on the floor for the first week. What are you doing? Go through how to mix the color to your standard. Go through every single blueprint bit of information. Do the contract on the first day. Go through every single line of the contract so they understand. Show them how to make a cup of tea to the standard that you want. Okay, so you need a blueprint that you've designed, that you can roll out. You have meetings every week, and you are able to communicate this with all of your team all of the time. Okay. Now I know some of you won't like some of that, but I'm telling you, that's the best way for most of you to change your business. And even if you're working on your own, you should still do a blueprint. Okay, don't have too many staff meetings if you're on your own, but you should still do a blueprint, and you should still have all the actions in place. If you ever want to expand, it's easy to expand, and it's easy for you to kind of identify how to change your business. Okay, like I said, not everybody agrees with me. Please put messages, whether you agree or disagree or anything, below. I love to take the feedback. You can also find me on my Facebook page. You can find me on YouTube. Thank you very much for another great week.